I'm going to show you something that I do to help me. You'll probably see the two little red spots on my head here, and this is what this video is about. It's a technique that you're going to be able to do to clear your mind if you've got a busy, active mind or a busy schedule. So what happens to me is my mind gets very busy and my schedule gets kind of overloaded, and I've got so much stuff that I want to do. It's trying to get through it all, and then the phone rings, and then somebody knocks at the door, and then you before you know it, you're on the phone for an hour, and then you have to go to the shop, and you have to pick up stuff, and you have to clean, and you have to collect, all the stuff that comes at you all the time. So when there's too much of that happen, it's kind of like, whoa, I need to do something here. And I feel very privileged to be able to have something that I can do myself. This is what I use with clients when I'm working with them to clear any heavy trauma if they've got something going on that really bothers them, and it works really quickly and permanently as well, which is important. So it's called the mind integration technique, and it's been used for a long time in different modalities like kinesiology and naturopathic medicine, and you can research it right back. But here's what you'll notice in people: when people get stressed and after something happens, you're going to notice that they move their body in particular ways. Like some people hold their wrist, or they'll rub their hands together like this, or they'll rub their legs, or they'll do these kind of things. These are all pressure points where the body to relieve stress just by pressing them, So there's all different points. You'll see people doing tapping. I'm just going to show you something that works really well for me when I'm like, okay, I need to clear my mind. I've too much stuff going on, and I need to just kind of do a reset so that I can come back to what I'm doing with a clear slate and a bit of perspective on things. So you'll see people doing this naturally, holding their forehead after they're stressed. And these two frontal lobes are called your working memory. So when you're thinking about anything specifically, the way I see it is, it's like a little room in your mind at the front. It's called your working memory, and anything that you're actively thinking about in that moment is usually a small amount of information. Now, it feels like a lot, but really that part of your mind can only hold 7 to 9 bits of information in theory. And that's not an awful lot of information, but when it's full, it's overloaded, and you start to feel overwhelmed. So there is a way of resetting that and clearing that so that it's like you're seeing through the smog, through the clouds. And the way you do it is you hold these two pressure points. And what this does is it brings more blood to the frontal lobes of your brain. So your hands have a charge in them, like a positive or a negative charge, and so does your body. And when you touch certain fingers together, there's a cross between your left and your right hemisphere. There's a lot of science behind it that you don't really need to know about. I'm going to teach you the simple way of doing it. You can either hold your forehead like this, you can press two frontal lobes like this with your two fingers, and you can put a cushion under here and lie down, which is sometimes what I do because your hand gets very heavy. You can hold them like this. Specific, you'll just feel the lumps there. That's your frontal lobes. And as soon as you do that, more blood starts to flow to the frontal lobes. And when you get more blood, you get more information and more energy. So what I believe happens in this moment is that when you hold these points, you'll usually see people doing it after something bad happens. So they're kind of going, their brain is doing this. It's over now. And the way I see it is, it has to be something like this has to be happening. It flattens out the feeling. So whatever you're feeling at the time gets flattened out, and it gets defaulted as safe. It's over now and it's okay. So you can bring anything you want into that process. You could think of something that bothers you, and you can bring it in and hold these and actively work on it without doing too much, complicated stuff. So what I normally say is, think of something that bothers you, or just notice how you're feeling right now, and in your body where you feel it, and point to where you feel it. Now scale it from 0 to 10. 0 being the feeling's gone. I feel fine. Maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed or stressed, or you just feel like stuck on something. Notice where you feel it, 0 to 10. And then point where you feel it. And then now what you're going to do is you're going to kind of hold these 2 points, and you can do it like this or this. Either way is good. And you're going to close your eyes and look down. And all your job is to do is to focus on the feeling, like really connect with the feeling and try and keep it there. And welcome in anything that has to do with the problem. Even all the busy stuff from your day, other people's stuff, any sense that it's personal or about you or who you are, just kind of welcome it all in. And as you're holding these points, just keep focusing on the feeling, and that's all you have to do. It's not more complicated than that. You're just focusing on the feeling with the intention of it allowing it to dissolve and evaporate. So as you're doing that, you're going to start to notice that any images you see in your mind will start to subside with it too. So you might see images of what you're thinking about. They'll change either to a positive, Sometimes they get transparent and you can see through them. Sometimes everything just kind of fades away and the feeling starts to dissipate and evaporate. You start to see colors in your mind, and some people don't see anything, which is fine too. Everybody's different. And you're just kind of being aware, curiously being aware of what am I noticing as the feeling is dissolving and evaporating. The feeling cannot stay there. If you do this, it will dissolve and evaporate. And how long do you do it? You just stay there until it's gone, and you'll feel it kind of dissipating. And what tends to happen to me is when the feeling starts to drop down and I start to feel better, my mind starts to wander off onto other stuff. And sometimes it's great ideas, and sometimes it's just other problems that I forgot about. I tend to get distracted, with because it works so quickly. This is the great thing. So if your mind drifts, it's great, because that means the problem hasn't got leverage on you anymore and it's not significant. And your mind is starting to wander over onto all the other stuff that you could be thinking about that may be even more important. So you'll see these two. So if you ever see me like this, that means I've a load of stuff going on and I'm trying to just clear my mind so I can get through all the noise. So just hold your forehead down, scale it from 0 to 10. 0, feeling's gone. Point where you feel it. If you feel it, if it's a 3 or a 4, and just hold it there with the intention of the feeling going. You can lie down and put a cushion under your arm if it gets too uncomfortable. You can kneel down at a desk or sit down at a desk, put your elbows on the desk and do this. And if someone sees you like this, they're going to ask you, are you okay? Because it looks like something's wrong. But this is what the body and the mind are always working together. And if you know how to do this stuff on purpose, it can help you to change how you feel on command, which is going to be a great thing, right? So try it out. Let me know if you in the comments how you get on, if it works for you. And if you have any questions about it, I'll answer them for you, and I'll show you a few more tricks that you can do to be able to just clear your mind and change how you feel really quickly on purpose. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to doing more videos for you.